Imagine a pale crest bending toward a sunburst cluster of rowan berries, tiny beaks, one after another, tasting the winter light. The air is thin and bright. The branches tremble under the weight of a passing river of feathers. This is the Bohemian waxwing. Here, in a single moment of careful motion, we find a story about hunger, generosity, and the quiet choreography of survival. Before we begin, a gentle note. Do not offer processed food, bread, or fermented fruit to these birds. Observe from a distance and avoid encouraging dependence. I will remind you again later with region-specific tips.
The Bohemian waxwing, Bombacilla garrulus, belongs to the northern woodlands, taiga rivers, lichen-scented spruce, and birch groves where summer songs are born. In winter, some years, they become wanderers, descending into orchards, hedgerows, and our town gardens. Think of them as winter pilgrims, noisy, gregarious, and utterly focused on bright, fat-rich berries.
Why do they move? Waxwings are famously eruptive. When northern supplies of berries and fruit are lean, whole flocks will travel long distances in search of abundance. It is not a predictable migration like a swallow's. It is a rolling decision driven by food, where the fruit ripens, where the abundance lasts, where one flock finds a generous patch, and word, or a dozen soft calls, spreads. Picture a cartography of appetite, maps drawn in berry stains and flock routes. Their life begins far to the north, in the quiet summers of boreal forests. On breeding grounds, pairs nest in conifers, careful cup nests, eggs pale and speckled. And when young hatch, families tend to their chicks with astonishing tenderness. Outside the breeding season, the social bonds loosen into larger, fluid groups, cousins of the same network, sliding together to feed, to rest, to keep watch. There is no single, always family. Instead, there is a social life that adapts with the seasons. Feeding is everything for a winter waxwing. Their diet in cold months is a feast of sugary, fatty berries, rowan, codeaster, hawthorn, fuel that turns cold evenings into survival. That same sweetness can be dangerous. Overly ripe or fermented fruit can intoxicate birds, slowing them down and raising collision risk. And human handouts, bread, processed scraps, lack the calories and nutrients they need. If we want to help, we choose plant-based, ecological solutions rather than quick snacks. Plant native berry shrubs, maintain safe hedgerows, and keep pets and feeders managed so birds stay healthy and wild. Watch a flock feed, and you will see a choreography of gentleness. Individuals alight, take a berry, hand it down the line. Soft contact calls ticking through the group. Someone ever vigilant will give a shrill note, and the whole assembly lifts, a coordinated cloud, settling again a few trees over. This communal feeding reduces theft and risk, many eyes spotting danger, many wings confusing a predator, an improvisation of safety built on social trust. How do gardens fit into this winter scene? Thoughtful planting turns orchards and hedgerows into trustworthy refueling stops. Favor native berry-bearing shrubs, species that suit your local climate and soils, so that the fruit ripens on its natural schedule. When watching, keep a respectful distance, avoid broadcasting exact locations on social media, and never crowd a small site. If you keep windows near shrub plantings, use simple visual markers or screens to reduce collisions. And again, no fermented fruit piles and no bread. These are well-intentioned mistakes with real consequences.
Now, a short listening window. Breathe with the orchard for a moment. Imagine a hush, interrupted by the soft clicks and liquid calls of waxwings, the distant scrape of wind in bare branches. Let that stillness settle.
If you're still with me, thank you. Thinking about waxwings like this, small, hungry travelers moving across winter landscapes, teaches a simple stewardship. Plant with native choices suited to your region. Consult local native plant nurseries or extension services before you dig. Report interesting flocks to citizen science platforms instead of sharing precise hotspots that might lead to crowding. And use window markers to prevent collisions. For a handy next step, I've placed a region-filtered native berry planting checklist and safe window tips in the show notes, so you can act thoughtfully wherever you live. In the end, the Bohemian waxwing asks little: a ribbon of safe trees, honest berries, and a world where hedgerows remain connected. As they move through our towns and orchards, they quietly carry seeds and stories, seed dispersers that knit distant forests together. In that moment, we see nature's quiet wisdom. If this episode brought you a pocket of calm or a new way to help, please subscribe to Avian Tranquility for more single-bird stories that calm and teach. Share this with someone who loves winter birds, and consider the checklist in the notes before you plant. Until next time, may these small pilgrims remind you that modest acts, what we grow, what we protect, change who can thrive here.